How's it going, everybody? My name is Ben, and today I'm going to show you my portable garage from Harbor Freight. This is the Harbor Freight portable garage. This is from the side. It's right now it's on a, as you can see, 4x4 frame. So one of the things that people might really get hindered by when they're looking at a project, building a shed or something like that, is the fact that it's going to be expensive. It's going to take a lot of time, and it's going to be permanent basically, and that's one of the things that people don't like. And that's really what made me kind of hesitant, what exactly I want to build. And so what I decided to do was build a portable garage. And another thing that really ended up saving me a lot of money was using cement pads and using 2x4s. You end up making the foundation a lot cheaper when you don't pay for the 4x4s and you don't put actual cement in. Another thing that I ended up adding was the deck, because originally the garage, the portable garage, is a 10 by 17, and I had wanted to make something that was a little bit bigger. I ended up making a 10 by 20, give or take a couple inches here and there, but I ended up adding a deck into it, and I figured it would be a pretty cool addition. It should be able to make a good place to just kind of hang out. Maybe put a chair here, or maybe end up making a little bit more development in the future. Another nice thing is that you get a beautiful view off of the deck. So here's what it looks like with the door closed. Obviously, it's not going to keep bears out or anything. It's just to keep the wind out basically, and the rain, and that's kind of the big thing. Um, the rain is kind of the thing that I really want to stay out. If you wanted to have it insulated, this is probably not the way to go. In the future, I'll probably stick in a wood stove, but heat's going to be something that you're just going to have to bear with the cold to some degree. So this is kind of the setup I have right now for the shop. It's nothing very fancy. Miter saw, a workbench, a shelf. This is just one of those cheaper shelves. I don't really know where to find this. I think we got this used. For power, what I have set up right now is a 400 watt inverter connected to a deep cycle battery. Um, so far, it's ran pretty long. I think I put this battery in, charged it up about a week or two ago, and so it still powers the lights. And here's with the lights on. The flooring is a big thing because walking on the ground really just it makes for a less enjoyable experience when working. What I really like is that I can walk and I can keep my feet clean from the mud. That's really prime in my eyes. And it stays dry, so I really don't need to seal it up either. So the question people might be having is exactly how much would this cost to build something like this? Well, with the foundation, the wood and the cement ended up being around $300. Now, I got the 2x4s for a good deal. In fact, I didn't pay for a lot of them, so it would probably end up with all the wood and the plywood. It'd probably end up being more around 400, $350 to $400, which isn't terrible for a foundation as far as I know. I think it's actually pretty decent. I went and bought some nails from a local restore, and I paid like $4 for them. I just nailed most of them. I used a nailer for some of it, a framer's nailer, and that seemed to work pretty good. It was definitely pretty quick working. Um, but the foundation was about $400. Now the portable garage ended up being around 250, I believe it was, with the warranty that I got, which was I think a 1 year warranty. I ended up paying like $70 as far as I can remember. So I was in it about $300. The lights up there ended up being like 30, and then the grow light there was 20. I want to get a little bit more lighting coming in here, and I'll probably give you guys an update later. I want to run some LEDs going along these PVC pipes. That would be really cool. A big thing about this place is the lighting. It's actually really great to have the lighting over here, because you have white canvas, so you're gonna get lighting from everywhere, and that's really nice because I don't have to keep the grow light or the shop light on. I can just keep them off, and I can still work, and I can see perfectly fine. That's not something you're gonna find in a shed typically. If you have like one or two windows in them, you're gonna want to probably have more lighting than just a couple windows. But in here, I could live without having lights. At nighttime, it's nice to have these lights, and it's nice to have it on darker days. But right now it's an overcast day, and it still works pretty decent. It still looks fine. Now, one of the big things people might be wondering about is it structurally sound? Is it something that you can leave up for a couple years? Because that's, I think, probably the biggest question is if I'm going to invest $250 in it, is it going to stay up? If the elements come, the wind comes, how's it going to react? And from the research that I've done online, it seems like it works pretty decent. My own personal experience, we've had 2 windy days. One of the windy days actually did bring it back, but it was kind of it was my bad because I had put it together a little bit wrong. I had ended up fixing that, and I did a little bit of reinforcement. I'm kind of embarrassed to tell people, but it's duct tape. I used duct tape and just duct taped it all down. In the future, I'm going to plan on reinforcing it a little bit better. But from what I've seen, there was a guy who had it in Minnesota, and he said it lasted fine for a couple winters. And as far as I can tell, our area is not going to get nearly as much snow. So I don't think that's something to worry about. I will probably brush off the snow when we get it. That would be a big thing. But elements wise, the heat, maybe the sun might kind of work on the top of the roof. This is underneath a tree, so that's not really going to be an issue for me. At the end of the day, when you add up all of the costs to build the siding, to build the roofing, to build the inside, to do everything, you end up looking at quite a bit of money to pay for. And in the current climate, you really can't justify it if you're on a low income or if you just not make a lot of money, and that becomes kind of a hard thing to really justify. And what I really love about this portable garage idea is that you end up cutting the costs in not in half, not in triples. I mean, you can really end up cutting the cost in quadruples. It's ridiculous how much money you can save if you go on the wall tent. And, obviously so. You're trading in all of the lumber, all the roofing supplies, everything that you would pay for to build a structure, and you end up getting just canvas. So all in all, for a place that you can get for under $1,000, totaled up, I ended up paying around $600 for the actual structure and the foundation. That's how much I'd pay for just the foundation if I built the shed the way that if I built an actual shed with wood. So that's a really great price, and it's quite the money saver. I mean, it's simple. It's it's not much, but it's a $600 structure that you can be in and you can walk on. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for checking out my little humble abode. If you liked the video, then that's good. This is the first video I'm making, and I want to make more videos like it. I have a lot of different country kind of things that I want to do, little projects here and there, and kind of bring you guys along for the journey. I'd say hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and like, but I really don't care. Yeah, thank you. Goodbye.